Imagine a game of chess, where one player gets to tell their opponent where to move. Imagine a prize fight, where the boxer can demand which punch be thrown. Now imagine a baseball game, where the batter looks the pitcher dead in the eye and tells him exactly where to throw the ball. This wasn't a fantasy, it was a real rule, and it was so powerful they deleted it from history. The official history of baseball is a clean, polished story of gentlemen and heroes. But like any official story, the most interesting parts are in the pages they ripped out. Before the million-dollar contracts, before the analytics, there was a raw, untamed version of the game. And in that version, there was a law written into the rulebook that seems impossible today. A batter could demand a high or low pitch. If the pitcher missed that specific zone, it was a ball. The batter was in control. We're going to show you how this one forgotten rule created the most chaotic era in sports history and expose the real reason it was scrubbed from the records. By the end of this, you won't look at a simple pitcher's duel the same way again. It all starts in the 1870s and 80s. The game is still finding its identity. The strike zone as we know it doesn't exist. To bring order, the league introduces a rule. The batter must specify if he wants a pitch high, between his shoulders and his belt, or low, between his belt and his knees. At first, it was a gentleman's agreement, a way to be fair. But the players quickly realized this wasn't a rule, it was a weapon. Hitters like the legendary Tip O'Neill became masters of this system. He'd wait and wait, demanding low ball after low ball until he got the exact pitch he wanted to crush. In 1887, he batted .435. That's not a typo, 435. A record so untouchable, so alien, it proves the game he was playing is not the game we know today. Games became agonizingly slow. Pitchers, enraged and helpless, walked batter after batter. The rule designed to create fairness was creating a mathematical certainty for hitters. It was breaking the game's core mechanic. The duel was gone, it was an execution, so pitchers were forced to evolve. Desperate to regain control, they started developing new, unfair pitches. Pitches that would break and curve, defying the batter's demand. This era of chaos is where the curveball transformed from a trick into a necessity. It was an arms race, born from a single, broken rule. The official story ends there. They say the rule was quietly removed in 1887 to speed up the game and restore balance. But that's the lie they agreed upon, the public story. Dig a little deeper and you find it wasn't about balance. It was about money and control. The league owners, the men in the smoky back rooms, saw the future. They saw stadiums, ticket sales, gambling, a multi-million-dollar industry. And that industry relied on one thing, a predictable, controllable product. The batter's choice rule was pure anarchy. It put the power in the hands of the players, not the owners. A star player could hold the entire game hostage with his demands at the plate. The decision to remove the rule wasn't a committee vote, it was a corporate restructuring. It was the first time the league realized that the rules themselves were the most powerful asset they owned. By killing the rule, they weren't just fixing the game's pace, they were sending a message. The players don't own this game, we do. It was a hostile takeover hidden inside a rule change. This is the key. The deletion of the batter's choice rule was the blueprint. It was the moment baseball stopped being just a sport and became a centrally controlled business. Think about it. Every major labor dispute, every salary cap, every controversial rule change for the next 140 years stems from this exact power dynamic. A dynamic established when they took control of the strike zone away from the player. The most powerful tool in baseball isn't a fastball or a home run, it's the rule book. And in 1887, the owners proved they were willing to rewrite history, to erase a fundamental rule from common memory, all to seize control of the narrative. The .435 batting average wasn't the anomaly they erased, it was the player power it represented. They didn't just delete a rule, they deleted the possibility that the game could belong to anyone else but them. The files on the 1887 rule change are sanitized. They tell a simple story of improving the game, but this was the first time they buried the truth for profit. It wasn't the last. What other gentlemen's agreements or player-centric rules across all sports have been quietly erased to consolidate power? The records are out there, hidden in old newspapers and forgotten archives. It's up to us to find what they buried. What have you seen? Share your findings below.